welcome to another exciting episode of WWE Locker Talk. This is our 45th episode, shocking I know, and we are doing our WrestleMania 32 predictions. Man, who would have thought we would have got to WrestleMania 32 and we're still doing this show? It's amazing. I am Colton. That is the main event, Matt, which I assume most of you already know. But if you don't, if you're watching this for the first time, thank you for joining us here on WWE Locker Talk. Make sure you leave a comment right down below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe our video. And make sure you follow us on Twitter at WWE Locker Talk. And now that we've gotten through all the housework, let's jump right into your thoughts on WrestleMania. So we've got a few tweets here from everyone, so we'd like to thank everyone who tweeted us at WWE Locker Talk. And the first one comes from Daniel Farmer, who some of you may or may not know. He is at Daily Matt Byrne on Twitter, who said, "The Ryback beats Kalisto Veeder." All right, I'm going to lay it out straight, folks. We just did a fantasy baseball draft, and it took a lot out of both of us. So we're kind of exhausted right now. So we apologize for any slip of tongue or things like that. Anywho, the Ryback beats Kalisto via murder death kill. Kane or Strowman wins the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal and look 1% as cool as Matanza. I don't know who that is. I don't really care either. If it's some indie guy, it doesn't matter. Dean Ambrose beats Brock Lesnar but loses a limb or an eye in the process. The New Day win via hilarious shenanigans. Kevin Owens wins by doing dirty heel stuff, but Orton shows up to start a feud with him. That could be really interesting.
Could.
Charlotte wins, but Sasha dominates. Gonna go wild here, but I actually think Triple H and Shane both win their matches fairly cleanly. Interesting. Oh, and The Rock and Cena will have some absolutely terrible talky segment. Sadly, I think that you're right, Farmer. The next tweets come to us from Jared Bernowski. Once again, not sure if I'm saying that right, so if I'm not, I apologize once again. Who says, "I think we get the Reigns heel turn. He turns on family, The Rock, after beating Triple H, then feuds with Ambrose. I like Styles to win, new champs, and Ryback and Sasha Banks. Owens retains and go on to feud with Styles, who beats Jericho. In regards to Taker versus Shane, too many rumors about brand extension to think Taker wins. Overbooked end, but I like Shane." Thank you once again. Make sure you follow Jared on Twitter at KDPBuddha. That's a good name. I like that. It's kind of like booty, but he's not booty, so don't worry about that.
They make sure you ain't booty.
That's good stuff. And next tweets come from Mr. Steven Cyril, who is at Steven Cyril on Twitter. He has a great WWE website, letstalkwwe.com.
Oh, that website was expired.
Never you mind. Anyway, Undertaker triumphs. Emma gets the submission on Brie, bringing hashtag Give Divas a Chance full circle. If you don't know, Steven is a huge fan of Emma, as he rightly should be. And I think, last but certainly not least, we have a tweet from at WWE Wrestling FA3, who is Donna Dodson. Donna, thank you for tweeting for the first time. We appreciate it. Who said Roman Reigns is going to win his belt back, and AJ is going to win too. All right, I can deal with that. And so we would like to thank everyone for tweeting us all that stuff. It's really great. We really do appreciate it. We love talking with all of you. And so now we get on to the important part of the show. Not to say that your thoughts aren't important, but honestly, ours are slightly more important.
We're going to get to the meat and potatoes.
We're going to get to the meat and taters here. And so, WrestleMania comes live from Dallas, Texas, Sunday, April 3rd, which is the day after your birthday. So if I forget to tell you, happy birthday on Saturday. The one day this weekend we're not hanging out, either way. But April 3rd, Sunday, we have like 6 hours of wrestling, folks. So it's going to be a long day. So drink plenty of water.
Don't get dehydrated.
At least, I mean, and by I say drink plenty of water, I mean mix that in with your other, fun drinks. Don't just drink water. It's WrestleMania. Have a little fun. Eat plenty of snacks.
Andy, make sure you eat a lot of Domino's.
Domino's.
At least 4 Jack and Cokes.
I hear that Britain has stuffed crust pizza at Domino's, and I wonder why the heck we can't get stuffed crust at Domino's.
I don't know.
I would eat there all the time. Because Pizza Hut's the only place here that has stuffed crust pizza.
I do enjoy Pizza Hut, though.
I mean, I do enjoy Pizza Hut, but I mean, sometimes I want to change it up. But if I want stuffed crust, I'm limited to Pizza Hut.
Papa John should get stuffed crust.
Oh, game changer right there, my friend. Game changer. So, with all that stuff said, tweet at us. Let us know what you're eating and drinking this Sunday for WrestleMania. We really like this stuff for some reason. Probably because we really like food. And it shows. But that's not important. So, we're starting off with the pre-show. We're going to get on track. The pre-show, which thankfully this has just been announced recently. The great Mauro Ranallo. I can't roll my R's or my L's, so I apologize for not making that sound great. Will be your color commentator for the pre-show, which is super exciting because if we have to watch these 4 matches, I'm really glad Mauro Ranallo will be in the booth for it. And so we start off with the Usos against the Dudleys. Matt, who do you got? Does this match even matter?
I'm going to go with Enzo and Big Cass.
Yes, always the answer. Is that all you got? You don't have to keep going. That is more than sufficient an answer for me.
I'm gonna go with the Usos, but to be honest with you, I don't even know why these two are fighting. It appears the Dudleys actually feud more with Roman Reigns than with the Usos. I don't know where it came about. They had no time. I haven't even seen the Usos.
Yeah, I don't know. It has something to do with the Dudleys don't want to use tables anymore, and they want to make an example out of the Usos, or as they are called now, Us, which apparently means brother in Samoan, which I didn't know. So thank you to whoever pointed that out to me on this most recent Raw. I don't remember who you are, but let's be honest, you probably don't watch the show to find out. So either way, yeah. I don't know, a win for the Usos would be big for them against the Dudleys at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
Dudleys don't need it; they've done enough. Will there be a table breaking? Probably, maybe. I don't know. I don't really think it matters because I don't really think any of these pre-show matches matter. Which is kind of good because they put all the matches that are really quite pointless on the pre-show. And I think the main card is full of matches that matter, or at least that are going to be good matches. So next we get to the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. And, I mean, really the only build-up we've gotten to this has been Kane and Big Show beating up people. The Social Outcasts saying they're all going to win it together. And so there hasn't really been much hype for this. I think as of now there's like 4 open spots left, which is really convenient as there's 4 Wyatts who don't have a match. Actually, there's 3 Wyatts because sadly Luke Harper is injured because we can't have nice things. Honestly, they haven't been building this at all, but I mean, I think the consensus pick here is Braun Strowman.
Mm-hmm.
They're apparently building him up as this monster, which he is. He's not a great monster, but he's a monster. He's a large fella. Yeah, do you have any thoughts on this while I hurry up and look up the members of the tag match?
I think it is going to be Braun Strowman. The only other possible explanation would be a returning star. But we can't have Cesaro win it again. Randy Orton won and lower himself. They could just name John Cena the winner and him not even show up.
That could be
it doesn't really mean anything. Strowman could win it. It doesn't mean he's going to be pushed. It doesn't mean anything necessarily because we've seen the last 2 winners and they weren't pushed.
Yeah, definitely not. I mean, honestly, I wouldn't mind if Kane wins just because kind of the same thing with the Big Show last year. He's a guy who's been in the company a long time who hasn't actually won a big battle royal. And so, I mean, obviously this match doesn't mean anything. So if they gave Kane the win, I wouldn't be upset about that. But We'll see. Thankfully, we'll be getting Mauro Ranallo calling a bunch of random moves for that, so it should be fun. The next match is the 5-on-5 Total Divas, which I can't believe I'm going to read these names out. Brie Bella, Paige, Natalia, Alicia Fox, and Eva fucking Marie. Going up against this great team name, Team Bad and Blonde, because they're bad, they're also blonde. Some of them.
Some of them.
Who contains Lana, Summer Rae, Naomi, Emma, and Tamina. Hold on. Actually, we had a question regarding this who we're going to get to that has to do with this match, which comes from at Missed Spots, and they do a wrestling podcast, who has asked, are Eva Marie's tears all red? And so obviously Eva Marie is all red everything. So they're asking if her tears are also red. And my only response to that, I really hope we find out on Sunday. I hope she cries a lot. I don't care if that makes me a terrible human for thinking that another human should cry, but I really don't want anything nice to ever happen to her, ever.
Okay.
Yeah. You have any thoughts on that?
Well, for the match, I think it's going to be nice to see Paige and Natalia at WrestleMania.
That is nice.
Fighting up a little bit. I don't know why Paige has been degraded to this type of match. I feel like she should be on the main card. But, I mean, obviously Team Divas is going to win. And, I mean, I think Eva Marie might get the pin on it.
I would throw things. Like, that's going to happen. Like, you're going to have to tell me which one of these things in your house you don't care about, because I'm going to throw it if Eva Marie gets a win at WrestleMania.
I honestly think she's going to get the pin.
Man, that's going to make me so depressed. Because what I don't understand is, why would WWE think that she would get a great reaction? Apparently, they thought that this whole booing Eva Marie thing was just an NXT thing, which is obviously a very Vince McMahon idea, because he has no clue what the hell is going on. But I don't know if I've ever heard anyone get booed more than Eva Marie gets in NXT. And so even people who don't watch NXT, I don't know why they would ever care to cheer for this human. It boggles my mind. It bottles my mind up in a little bottle.
When your thoughts get all jumbled up like in a bottle.
Like in a bottle, I'm telling you. I don't know. Yeah, I think the Total Divas win this one. I think Brie Bella gets the pin victory, as they're thinking that she's probably going to retire soon to go home and make babies. So we wish you all the best of luck in your future
baby making
endeavors. So that's fun. Yeah, really not a whole lot. This is going to be doing anything else possible, and I don't know. Okay, you know, we're just going to move on. I'm not going to say any more about it, even though I want to. We move on to a match that probably should matter, but it doesn't. Ryback and Kalisto. Matt, I know you've had kind of differing views on both of these guys in the past, 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think? I don't know. What do you think on this one?
I really don't like Kalisto. I just don't like his style. He's small and he's fast.
All right, Vince, calm down.
And, I mean, if we're going with small, I like more Daniel Bryan, CM Punk type smalls.
So, bigger smalls.
AJ Styles small, Chris Jericho small. I don't like...
Small.
Yeah. Smalls. S'mores. I don't like his type small. So...
Can we stop saying small, please? It's starting to sound weird. It's one of those words that sounds really weird if you say it enough.
Ryback, I like that he's opening his moveset a little bit. Ever since he changed the little black tighties. That's a good thing.
Black tighty whiteys.
Black tighty whiteys from the onesie. I like him a lot more since he's moved to that. So I think he's gonna win. However, I don't like either of the men enough to care who wins. I'd rather see Kalisto less on Raw. Maybe move him permanently to SmackDown. and put the title on Ryback. Ryback did decent work as the Intercontinental Champion. Maybe he'll do decent work as the U.S. Champion, and maybe Styles or I don't know, Zayn or someone can feud with him for that title.
Yeah, here's the thing, like when Kalisto was first facing Del Rio and he won the title, man, it was really cool and really exciting. And then it kind of dragged out, and then he wasn't really facing Del Rio anymore, and they just didn't really use him at all. They put him back in the tag team with Sin Cara, which is not a good thing for anybody. And so you just, I mean, he kind of lost importance, and the U.S. title lost importance. And for a long time, I didn't like Ryback at all, and then I started liking him for a few weeks, and I stopped liking him again, and I think I'm still at the point where I don't really like him. I do agree with Matt. He's improved his move set, which is really good, especially when he's mocking CM Punk. I'm all for anyone who would mock CM Punk. Good for you, Mr. Ryback. But yeah, those four matches are the pre-show, which is going to take place for the first time ever. The second hour will be on the USA Network for some reason. So yeah.
Wait, what?
The second hour of the pre-show, if you don't already know, will be airing simulcast on the WWE Network and on the USA Network.
It's very weird.
So I believe the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal, and I assume one of the other pre-show matches will take place during that hour.
Well, then the stream's gonna be amazing for those hours because you just turn on USA
Just
Network.
turn on the TV when your stream's not working on the old WWE Network.
I wish they'd put WrestleMania on USA since it's free anyway.
Right? Free to new subscribers. Oh boy. Alright, so yeah, that's the pre-show match, or the pre-show matches. Pardon my French once again. And so now we get to WrestleMania 32. And so as of now, we have 7 matches, which is supposed to last for 4 hours, and I'm not sure how 7 matches can last 4 hours. Oh wait, it's WrestleMania, so we're going to have 2 or 3 concerts in the middle from people who suck and we don't care about. The Rock's going to come out and talk about pie and boots to asses, and he's probably going to throw booty in there because that's what's cool now. And it's going to waste everybody's time. Because do you know what The Rock's doing? They haven't announced what The Rock's doing.
They haven't announced any of
The Rock's just going to show up, and it really kind of makes me sad. The Rock used to be my favorite guy, and now I think that is the thing I'm least looking forward to at WrestleMania. The thing that they're hoping that is going to hype WrestleMania the most, and I could not care less about it. So we're not sure what's going to start on the first of the card. So we're just going to kind of go up, throw one out there. Let's start with the New Day against the League of Nerds. Go for it. Just dive right in there.
I think the New Day is going to win it. Colton was telling me something about there's been whispers that it's not even for the title.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Which means it doesn't really mean anything. It's going to be a 3-on-4 handicap match. I know that much for sure. Which is good, because Wade Barrett, this might be his last hurrah with the company. He might get a few spots in there, but ultimately, it doesn't make sense to have New Day lose, especially with the next day, we might have some stars coming up from NXT.
Yeah, I'm still wondering, when are they going to change the graphic from New Day against the League of Nations to New Day against Enzo and Big Cass? Because that's the scheduled match, right? Like, they wouldn't possibly put a match against the League of Nations. They've done that like 400 times, right? Like they meant Enzo and Big Cass. They just put the wrong names on there.
Enzo and Big Cass might just beat the living snot out of League of Nations, then come out.
Awesome. I'm all for it. Yeah. So New Day's gonna win. A lot of people aren't really hip with the New Day now. I think that they're still going fairly strong. This babyface stuff that they're doing isn't quite as fun as the heel stuff is. But it's the New Day. I'm sure they're going to do something spectacular. I've heard rumblings that they wanted to ride in on unicorns. So who wouldn't want to see that? But yeah, I think it should be. I think it should be a solid match. I think every match on the WrestleMania main card, it all should be a good match if it's given enough time. That might not happen with guys like The Rock talking for 45 minutes, but that's not really the point. And so yeah, especially if it's not for the title, there's no reason for the New Day to lose this match. So yeah, it should be fun. So now we move on to a match that I think has had a good booking, but kind of weird. And that is AJ Styles against Chris Jericho. Now, we've seen this, I think we've seen it, what, 3 pay-per-views? Or 3 total matches that they've had so far. So this is the 4th one. Usually they go best of 3 because you can't really tie when there's 3 matches. So yeah, I think it's kind of weird that they're kind of doing the creepy AJ Styles, the thing that Jericho does, trying to get the crowd to chant. And for whatever reason, some of the really stupid crowds won't even chant for AJ Styles, which is ludicrous. But, you know, that's to be expected because most people are stupid. I'm sorry if you're one of those people, but you just are. I think Styles wins his first WrestleMania match. There's no reason for Jericho to win. It's Styles' first match at WrestleMania, which sounds eerily similar to what we said about Triple H versus Sting last year. There was no chance that Sting was going to lose his first WrestleMania match. But, you know, I'm sure Vince has a large ego and could never let WCW beat the WWE. But I don't think that's the case because in Vince's mind, TN whatever doesn't exist. So Styles is just starting out and is a hot young upstart in the WWE. Matt, I know you're a big AJ Styles fan. Does he have what it takes to be on the grandest stage of all? Is he going to pull out any of those really cool indie moves that we've seen from him?
I think in this match we see it all. We see the Lion Tamer. We see the Styles Clash. We see it all here. That I wanted to say something with the crowd chants. Yes. Okay. So Jericho tries to get them into the AJ Styles creepy thing, but I've noticed most all the crowds so far have been more into the Y2 Jackass chants than the AJ Styles chants, which I think is funny because it just shows that Styles is getting kind of fed up with it all.
I think most people just would like to have a chance to shout an obscenity when they can.
Possibly, yes.
Yeah. Just a thought.
Now, I think AJ Styles is going to win. I don't think... There's zero chance in my mind that Chris Jericho has any chance of winning here. There's been rumbles and grumbles that Chris Jericho will retire after WrestleMania. I don't know if that's true or not true. Couldn't tell you. But AJ Styles is just too hot right now. Even though he's, I think, 37 years old.
Dude's old.
Jericho's 63. So, I mean, it's going to be a fragile match for Jericho. But Styles is obviously a pin with the pin. We might see, with 7 matches for hours, we might even see 2 or 3 Styles clashes.
Could be. I would hope not. That would make that move look really, really weak.
Well, the Code Breaker, he's hit the Code Breaker a few times. We're going to see a lot of Code Breaker, and the Code Breaker is really cool.
And honestly, if you hit the Styles Clash enough, eventually the other guy's going to break his neck. So maybe that's what they're hoping for. I don't know. Yeah, I think this should be a fun match. I mean, we've obviously seen this before. I would have liked to have seen some sort of stipulation. But, I mean, it's Styles against Chris Jericho, so it's not going to be a bad match. We definitely don't have to worry about that. Anywho, moving on. Got a bit distracted. Everything's okay. We're going to move on now to what I think could steal the whole damn show. I know what Matt's thinking, and it's not the same thing that I'm thinking. This match is Charlotte versus Becky versus Sasha Banks. If these 3 women are given 15-20 minutes, we could see one of the greatest WrestleMania matches of all time. All these women are extremely great workers, extremely great. I don't think that's really good English, but that's okay. They're all really great. They've all been on a semi-big stage before. They've all headlined ish NXT shows for a long time. They all have really good chemistry together. And so I think it could be a really, really good match. They're going to pull out everything. They know that the spot they've been given with the whole Divas Revolution thing, um, they're going to have plenty of time. So they're going to go out there and they're going to put on one heck of a show. And I think what's really going to help this match is that this is a WrestleMania crowd. This isn't going to be your random nowhere New Jersey crowd who doesn't know anything or doesn't cheer for anyone. This is going to be a worldwide global audience at WrestleMania who would be very similar to like an NXT crowd. So they're all going to be really into this match. In my heart and in my soul, I want Becky Lynch to win. I think Becky Lynch needs the win the most. But I think Sasha Banks comes out of the show with the Divas Championship. She's just too damn good, and people have been claiming her for too long. I think she's one of the few people to come out of NXT lately who has never been without a response. Every time Sasha Banks comes out, everybody cheers for her. There's been times when Kevin Owens doesn't get much of a reaction from a crowd, or Neville doesn't get much of a reaction from a crowd, or even Charlotte or Becky Lynch doesn't get much of a reaction from the crowd. But it seems like every time once again, it's a tough one, folks. Sasha Banks always gets a reaction. That's my point. Matt, say words for me, please.
I don't think this match is going to be the showstopper, but it's going to be good. I think this match is going to get a lot of time because on a card I saw, it was the third to last before Taker and Triple H matches. I don't know if that's true or not, but we'll go from there. I think Sasha Banks is going to take this one because it's been a very slow burn since SummerSlam, just before SummerSlam, it all came up. With Sasha Banks, she went right into it. Charlotte went right into it, and Sasha Banks kind of got taken back a little bit, slow burn, slowly building her up to that main event scene with the title. Becky Lynch has always been around that title, I would say. Already feuded with Charlotte, feuded with Sasha, feuded with, I think she feuded
everybody.
With a few other people. Doesn't matter.
Those are the only people who matter, let's be honest.
Yeah, so Charlotte's been in the limelight. Becky Lynch has been in the, not necessarily limelight, but she's been up there. She's always getting beaten down in matches. But Sasha, I think Sasha couldn't argue with you with that, with the crowd reaction. She's always over. People have the signs, legit boss section and whatnot. I think she sells the most merchandise out of all the women, which in Vince's eyes, you're the number one contender if you sell the most merchandise. John Cena. But, so yeah, I think Sasha Banks is going to win it. I don't think there's a doubt in my mind. And hopefully we're going to have Paige up there to face her sooner or later.
Yeah, should be a lot of fun. So, the next match we get to, I think this is the one that you're thinking is going to steal the show. This is the one that I think a lot of us are excited for. Brock Lesnar against the lunatic, for some reason, Dean Ambrose. I don't know. I don't know. Here's my question for you here. Do we see blood at WrestleMania in this match?
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. Blood from who? Whom?
Blood from Brock Lesnar.
From Lesnar.
From Brock Lesnar, yes.
Okay. Well, Lesnar bleeds at the drop of a pin, so
Lesnar does what he wants, so it doesn't matter if someone says he can't bleed.
Yeah. Honestly, I think they might get the green light to first at least a blood packet.
Well, Dean's history, he can bleed.
Yeah.
He's done it a lot.
I mean, obviously they're not actually gonna do tons of razor marks all over their thing. But, I think.
Well, he has a chainsaw that he wants to use, so.
Brock Lesnar may or may not die. One of these guys may or may not die in this match, courtesy of Chainsaw Charlie, aka Terry Funk. I like what they're doing with the legends giving. I was about to say CM Punk, and I don't know why. Dean Ambrose, he's about the same level of being over as CM Punk was. I like how they're doing it. They're kind of giving the rub to Dean Ambrose with Mick Foley and Terry Funk. It's been really cool. Dean Ambrose has that barbed wire baseball bat that he got from Negan. I mean, Mick Foley. Sorry. Also, just a heads up for any of you who decide not to watch WrestleMania live and instead watch The Walking Dead. If you spoil the season finale of The Walking Dead for me, I will come to your house and kill you. That's not a threat, my friend. That's a promise. Don't mess with me on this, okay? Okay. Anywho, yeah, this is gonna be a really, really fun match. I'm looking forward to this a lot. I think the way it ends the way Farmer said. Dean Ambrose dies, but he wins the match. Like, I think that's the only way it can go down. Dean Ambrose needs a huge win like this. This would propel him so much higher than he already is. And I don't see a need for Brock Lesnar to win this. Brock Lesnar doesn't really ever need to win any match, but I think this is Dean Ambrose's time. This is going to propel him even higher. It's gonna be a brutal match. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Yeah, you're tired. You don't care about this match.
Yeah, I am a little tired actually.
Okay.
How could this match not be one of the top contenders to steal the show? You have arguably the two most over people on the roster in one match, with Brock Lesnar, who everyone loves to see come around, and Dean Ambrose, who is gaining popularity like no one's business. So, you have these two going at it. You have Dean Ambrose making stops at all these hardcore legends. You have Dean Ambrose finally breaking into a hardcore match where I'm pretty sure he's going to be able to get the green light to go ahead and just do crazy stunts, crazy spots. Brock Lesnar bleeds a lot, so he'll say, yeah, I'll bleed, whatever, it's fine. And Brock Lesnar doesn't need to win on this one, but Brock Lesnar's going to give him one hell of a fight. I think Dean Ambrose, since he's smaller, is going to humanize Brock Lesnar a little bit with chair shots, with kendo sticks, with everything. I feel like they're both going to be extremely sore. Well, maybe not Brock Lesnar, but Dean Ambrose is going to be extremely sore the next day. Dean might even bleed because we've seen in his history he has done some extreme hardcore matches, extreme spots, this and that in the indies, and he's not afraid of any of that stuff, which you'd always like to see in a sports entertainer. You always like to see them say, you know what, I'll go ahead and put my body on the line. I'm not saying it's a good thing. I'm saying their blood's in it for the business. And those are the kind of guys you want to see on Raw every day. Every week, I should say. So I think Dean wins it, and I think that propels him and keeps him safe in that limbo between mid-card and main event, which he needs to stay in there.
Okay, here's my question for you, and this is a good one. Which weapon would you least want to be hit by?
Out of the ones that they're...
Of all the weapons that are used in wrestling, nothing too extreme, no burning tables. We're not going to go Edge McFoley far, but just like regular weapons that are used semi-regularly.
I think I would say the ring bell.
Ooh, that's a good one. That would hurt a lot.
Mm.
I would say kendo stick.
Those do.
Because that would just leave a giant welt, a giant bruise, and I feel like with a chair it at least kind of spreads the pain out a little bit more. I guess, which is not great, but I don't know. Yeah, should be a really great match. A lot of fun spots. Can Dean Ambrose pull it out? I think he can.
I think this would be great.
I think it's gonna be great.
I think this match is gonna be 30 to 35 minutes long. Damn,
it's a long time. They're gonna have to shut the Rock up for that to happen, but I'm okay with it. So next, speaking of big match with lots of big spots and people potentially dying, we get The Undertaker against Shane McMahon. If Shane wins...
We gotta do that one too.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about that one. We'll get to it. Don't worry. We get to Shane McMahon. It was just a good segue, so that's what we're going for. Shane McMahon against The Undertaker. Shane wins. He controls Raw, and the Undertaker loses. He is uh, his last WrestleMania match. And so Hell in a Cell, this is where the Undertaker shines. Actually, I'm pretty sure the Undertaker has like a 500 record in Hell in a Cell. So he's been in them a lot, but he doesn't always do that great. Um, I just want to know what they're going to do because the way they built this up, something big is going to happen. And with the way that they did the elbow from the ring ropes through the table, the first thing that popped into my mind was Shane couldn't possibly do that from the top of the cell, could he? I mean, we all know Shane's got the guts enough to do it. The question is, one, would it be safe enough? And would they even allow them to do it if it might be safe enough? I don't really know, but we're going to get some absolutely crazy things happening. Um, there's there's speculation people might interfere in the match on Shane's behalf. People might interfere on the Undertaker's behalf. I don't know. I'm going to say that there is no interference in that match. I think it's just Shane against Undertaker. If Shane can get those punches and actually land them for once instead of doing the juke, jive, and jab thing without ever actually touching the Undertaker as he's done the past few weeks, I think it could be an interesting match. This is really hard for me because this is one of the rare times where I think the match could go either way. Because a lot of times in WWE, we get, there's an obvious result that's going to happen. And so I think with this one, it's kind of wide open. But I don't even know who to root for. Who are we supposed to root for in this match?
They've blurred the lines.
They've blurred the lines so much. They don't even know who you're supposed to cheer for because, I mean, if you have Shane winning, the Authority is no longer in control of Raw. If you want Shane to win, that means you have to boo the Undertaker, Undertaker is WrestleMania. But then again, if you boo the Undertaker, that means you want the Authority to stay, and you want Vince McMahon to stay in power, and all this other storyline stuff. And so, I mean, I don't even think they know, because like the Undertaker said that Vince McMahon's blood is going to be on his hands. Mm-hmm. Well, for one, Vince McMahon's not in the match. Two, Undertaker's working for Vince McMahon and doing his deeds. So I'm not really sure what it is. I think they really needed to explain a little bit more why the Undertaker was doing this. I think that is a huge, we'll call it a plot hole in this storyline. But if I have to choose gun to my head, I can't bet against The Undertaker at WrestleMania, especially against a guy like Shane McMahon. Nothing against Shane McMahon. The guy has incredible abs, apparently, which we learned this week. But I can't go against The Undertaker losing to Shane McMahon in his last WrestleMania match. I just don't see that happening. So I think a tombstone seals the deal for Shane. I think he's just here for this to kind of boost things for a little bit, and then he's going to go away. But I think it's tough. I think The Undertaker wins.
It's an extremely tough match to call.
But Michael Cole's sure going to try, won't he? Oh my God, Maggle, look at him fly!
I think the better person to call this match is Andy from RTM's facial expressions. Just pan the camera to him, and he will do the rest with every move. We've blurred the lines a lot of who we're supposed to root for. I don't know. I don't see this being Undertaker's last WrestleMania, even if he loses, that's the thing. I see a lot of interference. I see Stone Cold coming out, interfering. Possibly even Shawn Michaels. Shawn Michaels running down, giving a super kick to Taker. The person who stumped him at 2 WrestleManias in a row.
Good point.
I could see that happening very easily. I could see a lot of things happening in Shane's favor. Possibly his dad coming down, beating up Shane after the super kick. There's a lot of things that could happen, what ifs. I'm going with Shane McMahon, though, in the end. Because I see a brand extension with the success of NXT and the people kind of down-talking SmackDown. I see SmackDown becoming Shane McMahon, Stephanie McMahon, and Triple H's stomping grounds. They have the ability to build it up. They can book those matches. Just give them SmackDown, let them book the matches. They have enough talent coming back from the injured reserve in the next 3 to 4 weeks. They have enough people that are ready to come up to NXT, come up from NXT. You could split the brands very easily into Raw, SmackDown, have it do that way again. But I feel like Shane McMahon's going to win in the end in some weird way, like Shawn Michaels coming out, Steve Austin coming out, Vince McMahon coming out. Bring everyone out. Dixie Carter's gonna come out and throw a stunner in there. Uh,
Who's that?
this would be crazy, and that is why I think it won't be Undertaker's last WrestleMania. He's going to say, you know what, you needed all these people, you're still a little bitch, this and that.
They've been saying bitch a lot in this feud.
So I don't think this is his last WrestleMania. I think we won't see him for a whole year, and he's going to do one last WrestleMania against John Cena.
Honestly, I mean, I completely forgot what I was going to say there. I have no idea.
But if you are right with he's an old school guy and he possibly does this one last match, he loses this one, does another one, loses to Cena in a retirement match, is that diminishing to have 3 losses in 4 years?
True. I think this is a very bold statement, and with the kind of rumblings that have been going on and the rumors, I think if anyone interferes in this match, it is the vigilante, the icon, Sting.
Sting? I thought he was up permanently.
He's officially said that he's not officially retired. He says he hasn't closed the door on another match. I think, if anything, Sting, if Undertaker is going to lose, Sting interferes in the match, and that either sets up a match at SummerSlam or a match for next year's WrestleMania.
Seth Rollins.
Or Seth Rollins is another thought that I have as well.
The man, the myth, and the legend.
Oh, I want Seth Rollins to come back. That's all I want. Anywho. Yeah, I think we've covered that one pretty well.
Yeah.
Let us move on to the match that I apparently almost forgot about. The Intercontinental Ladder Match. Title Ladder Match. Which has, let's see if I can remember these. Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, The Miz, Sin Cara. I'm already forgetting some. Stardust.
Dolph
Ziggler. Zack Ryder. I think that's it.
Yep.
I got him. Alright. So, we've discussed this many, many times coming into the show. And I've said it before and I'll say it again right now. We all would have liked to seen Kevin Owens against Sami Zayn at this WrestleMania. And don't get me wrong, but I hope that WWE does this right and they build up Zayn against Owens very slowly, and that hopefully next WrestleMania we can get one-on-one Zayn versus Owens for a title, maybe not for a title. I think Zayn versus Owens could be one of the greatest feuds WWE ever does, and they could do the thing like they did with The Rock and Stone Cold Steve Austin, where they have 3 WrestleMania matches. And The Rock never beat Austin until that one last match at WrestleMania where he beat Stone Cold. And I think they can do the same thing where Sami Zayn just can't beat Kevin Owens until he finally gets the win at WrestleMania. Obviously, Sami Zayn pinned Kevin Owens this Monday night on Raw. So obviously this isn't he's never going to beat him ever. This is he doesn't ever win the big one. Because we've kind of seen in NXT, if they want to continue with that, which they're not really great at continuing with storylines. Sami Zayn had a thing. He never won the big one. Yeah, he beat Neville, but then the very next takeover, he lost it to Kevin Owens. He lost the rematch to Kevin Owens. He wasn't able to beat Cesaro. He couldn't ever beat Neville. And so Sami Zayn is just this incredible underdog. And so, obviously, I'm talking a whole lot about Sami Zayn, but we all know that Zack Ryder is clearly going to win this match. I mean, if you're betting for anyone else other than Zack Ryder, you're a complete moron. And I'm sorry, that's just the truth. Zack Ryder is going to steal the show. Sorry, Dolph Ziggler, you're going to have to get over it. I still love you, though. He's going to steal the show, but then lose the title on Monday Night Raw. Yeah. Honestly, I think Owens is going to retain.
What's the thing he does?
The LI, Long Island IZ.
I guess it would be that way.
Well, this is going to be flipped once we do the show, so it's still like this. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Right with the L, because it's opposite, because normally left with your left hand makes an L, but it's the opposite because the camera flippy. Sorry, we're getting really off topic here once again.
I honestly don't mind at all that it is not Owen Zayn, because
you're a communist.
If we had Owen Zayn, we wouldn't have Dolph Ziggler at WrestleMania. We wouldn't have Zack Ryder at WrestleMania. We wouldn't have this amazing ladder match because Kalisto and Ryback has already been booked. So we wouldn't have all these people at WrestleMania to put on an amazing show. So I feel like the guys like Stardust and Zack Ryder are there to do the heavy lifting. They're there to do amazing spots off the top. They're there to take the spot possibly off a pop-up powerbomb through a ladder. These are the guys in the trenches that make the match great. Yes.
So I know this is not going to actually happen, but if they don't tease Kevin Owens doing a package pile driver to Sami Zayn through a ladder, I'm going to be really upset. Because the crowd will freak if they tease that, and it'll be completely awesome. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, these are the guys in the trenches that make these matches amazing. Yes, Sami Zayn, Owens, or Ziggler are going to win the match. But guys like The Miz, Stardust, Ryder, they're the ones that are actually going to wake up the next morning with bruises everywhere. They're going to wake up sore. And they're the reason we are going to have a hell of a time watching the match. That being said, I'm going with Kevin Owens as well to retain.
Fight, Owens, fight. Yeah, I'm really excited for this match. I think it could... honestly, any of these matches on the card could potentially steal the show.
Except for New Day.
Yeah, because Alberto Del Rio. Anywho, but yeah, this should be a really, really fun match. Could be a lot of fun. I think this could be the match that goes on first. Kind of like last year they did the IC ladder match first. And so they should get the crowd really hyped up and excited. And were you going to say something there?
No, I was just...
You kind of took a slightly louder intake of breath, so I thought you were
preparing
for
I wasn't going to say anything, but now that we paused, I think you're right on the Intercontinental Championship going first. But New Day League of Nations should go first, and they should just... See, a lot of people think a WrestleMania card should rise and fall, but no, man, it should be all rise.
I think what you're talking about are mixtapes, but I think the same principle applies. Well, if we're going all rise, maybe this next match probably shouldn't be the main event, because I feel like not a lot of people are going to like this. The main event of the evening, Roman Reigns against Triple H for the WWE title. God, it must suck to be Roman Reigns. Like, honestly, like, it cannot be fun to be him right now. So, I mean, honestly, if you're just looking at the guy, Roman Reigns himself, he's been going there. He's been working hard. He's been doing a lot of cool stuff lately. You know, beating up Triple H in the alley, beating him up in the ring. All that stuff is really cool. But the crowd just doesn't care. They do not like Roman Reigns. They don't want him in the main event. And so I think they're in a really tough spot here. I mean, I like Roman Reigns. I told you earlier, he's probably in my top 15-ish. Current wrestlers, not all time, because good God, that's way too high. But, you know, people are really crapping on this match, and I think what a lot of people are forgetting is that regardless of how this match is billed and how it's been booked, this is going to be a really good match. You've got two big bulls, two big lions like Triple H and Roman Reigns who are just going to go out there and they're going to hit each other, they're going to beat each other up, and they're going to have a good time doing it. And that's why we watch wrestling, is it not? We watch wrestling to see two guys without a lot of clothes on beat each other up. And that sounds kind of weird, but let's be honest, that's the reality we all live in. And so, man, I don't know, there's a ton of things I think they can do here. A lot of people, including myself, have suggested turning
Yeah.
Roman Reigns heel. Sorry, our mascot is napping and twitching. So um, they could turn Reigns heel. Um, they could not. They could just honestly. I think at this point the best thing is just to go forward with their plans and have Reigns win. And regardless of whether people cheer or boo, you know, have him go forward as a champion. Because if you go back on what you're planning on doing, um, so many times, it starts to become a little less reliable. And so, I mean, obviously they're gonna, like I said, they're gonna have a great match. I think they just stay the course. I think Roman Reigns wins cleanly over Triple H. Um, I don't think there's going to be a ton of shenanigans that really impact the end of the match. At least I hope not, because you really don't want shenanigans in a WrestleMania match too much, because this is obviously we can't call it the granddaddy of them all because Vince thinks that makes it look old, which is why we don't have numbers anymore. But I'm gonna say Roman Reigns pins Triple H cleanly. Whether or not the crowd are booing or cheering, I think that's just the world we're going to have to live in. And honestly, I don't think it's going to be as bad as everyone is expecting it to be, even into the future with Reigns as the champion.
Is that your thought?
It was a long thought. I know I get these long-winded thoughts, and then it's hard to tell when I'm done. But yes, I am officially done. Although once you start talking, I'm going to think of another thing to say. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, me and one Andy James have the same thought on this.
That's scary.
We do not think, and I don't know if he still thinks this or not, but he did for a long time. This is not main event caliber match. This should be the third to last, if not fourth to last match, because Triple H is an older guy. Uh, Roman Reigns, they want him to be cheered, but he is just booed. Especially a great like Triple H with all the charity work he's done, and a WrestleMania crowd. There's gonna be a lot of NXT fans there. Triple H is responsible for NXT. They're just not going to get what they want. Now, there have been grumblings, and urgent messages that one Seth Rollins might be returning to maybe reform the Shield
Ooh.
at WrestleMania. Now, this could happen with helping Reigns win the title, and I could see this happening, and then Rollins screwing over Reigns again to win the title back, his title, because we all know Rollins is a better heel in his face. Now, having said that,
Excuse you.
excuse me, I don't think it'll come out on camera though.
I got you. We're good.
Having said that, I can see Roman Reigns winning the match, regardless of what's going to happen. I think they're going to start off with this match, giving it 25-30 minutes. I just don't think these guys, with how they fought each other, can go 25-30 minutes. It's just been punching, smash, 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 nosebleed, nosebleed, nosebleed. There's been no technical abilities whatsoever in there. There's been no spine busters. There's been no nothing. It's just Superman punch and then Triple H bashing his head on there. Which, as you said, yes, it's why we watch wrestling, to see like guys bash on each other. But we also like to see that capability that guys like AJ Styles has, the guys like Chris Jericho has, the guys like Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Neville, and Triple H and Roman Reigns just don't have that. And that's why I don't think this should be a main event match. But Reigns will walk away.
Yeah, but you have to remember, this is a Vince McMahon company, and he doesn't like those little flippy guys. He wants big, strong Roman Reigns. That was kind of more of a Macho Man voice, but...
But it's... I agree with you, Vince does want these men.
Yeah.
But a sign that Vince is moving out is Rollins is the new face of the company, the future, and he is a high flyer.
Not to give anything away from our show that we're going to be doing, debating who is the new face of the company, whether it be Rollins, Ambrose, or Reigns.
Oh, yes. I can't dilute that information.
That's just a potential thought, correct?
One of the three.
Yeah, definitely.
One of the three new faces of the company.
Yeah. It's definitely not going to be R-Truth, so you can throw him out right now. Yeah, this has been a long episode, and this is a long WrestleMania
Well,
card.
we made up for the 15-minute match, or show.
Yeah.
Who is coming out?
Alex Riley.
A-Y?
Sorry, we're watching Money in the Bank 2011, I think.
I forgot this is when they did
In the background.
two briefcases.
They had 2 briefcases, and
for some ungodly reason.
Alex Riley was on the main event in a Money in the Bank match. How the slightly mighty have fallen. Rage. Anywho, so let's get out of here. We don't want to waste anybody else's time.
Shade under an hour.
Yeah, because we all know Farmer and Andy are the only 2 that are actually going to watch this.
Farmer complains about the time, though.
Yeah, but guess what?
Oh, you know what?
Oh.
Speaking of Andy, shout out to Andy. I was thinking about shaving it all off, but I kept it on just for you guys at RTM Wrestling because it's so phenomenal.
Exactly. Yeah, and we're here to please the fans. Mm-hmm. All 2 of you.
3. RTM has 2 members.
Yeah, how could I forget? Well, I kind of see them as being one person because they're just so darn cute, you know.
Watch it separately.
That's a bit much to ask.
Two views.
Yeah.
Watch it a few different times. There's 7 days in the week.
Yeah.
That's 14 views altogether.
Yeah. So, anywho, let's wrap this up. This has been the 45th episode of WWE Locker Talk. If you want to tweet us and get your names shouted out, I guess, on the show to the couple of viewers that we have and let your voices be heard, make sure you tweet us at WWE Locker Talk. Make sure you like the video, subscribe, all that other YouTube rigmarole. And yeah, so we hope you have a fantastic weekend. This is going to be a long, fun weekend. We've got NXT Friday. We've got the Hall of Fame on Saturday. We've got WrestleMania Sunday and the Raw after on Monday. It's going to be exhausting, but I think it's going to be fun. I hope you all enjoy it. I hope you all remember that this is just a wrestling show. Don't get too angry if something doesn't work out your way. Just try to enjoy it for what it is, and I think you'll have a better time that way.
Also, people in England that watch the show, let us know if you're actually going to watch TakeOver Dallas live, because that's going to start at, I think, 2:30 a.m. your time.
Gross.
Which kind of sucks.
I wouldn't. Anywho, this has been WWE Locker Talk, episode 45. We are signing off. We thank you for watching. Make sure you come back next time.